All right, so good afternoon. This is episode 34, Wicked Connected. Happy to have our latest guests on. So today's episode is Making Connections, Not Contacts. And today we have Karol Mendoza and Jeralmi Canela. Welcome to both of you. And so I think we're going to kick off, as we often do, with a question to you. What is a recent networking event that you've been to and enjoyed, or really you look back and that was your top one of late? And Karol, we'll start with you.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here today. And a recent networking event I went to is Belfast. It's an event that the organizers where non-entrepreneurs can show out their products that they have been working on through the entire school year. And it was very rewarding to see so many people and to see those young students just pitching their ideas and selling their products. And I just realized how important networking is. And it's just more than just adding people to your LinkedIn, but actually telling your story to them and just making yourself outstanding from others and just being yourself. So yeah, I really enjoyed both and it was a great opportunity to connect with a lot of people.
Great. And Jeralmi, what about you?
Yeah, so thank you guys for inviting me. It's great to be here. I was at BuildFest, so I'm currently in Pennsylvania, and I drove up like 5 hours to be there. It was great. I love the Red Sox because it was at Fenway, so it was great to just be in the stadium. We got to go to like one of the high up places, so you got like a really good view of the stadium, which was dope. Yeah, BuildFest is great. I was a part of it during high school. I went there. It was at like a hotel, but the venue this time is like 10x better. So yeah, it was great to be there.
Yeah, no, Taylor and I were both there as well, and it was definitely quite the experience. So I guess as part of that, should probably say, of course, the two of you are with Build. You're currently interning with Build. And so I guess with that, sometimes we go on different tangents, but I think today we'll jump into first. Just tell us a little bit about Build, what it is. I think definitely for you, Jeremy, that's really interesting as far as your past with it. But just give us a bit of insight as to what you're doing there and the impact that it's having on the community. And Jeralmi or Karol, either one it's up to you.
Definitely, I can go first. Bill is a nonprofit organization that work with high school students and they help them become the CEOs of their own lives. So basically, they have different programs depending on the year you are. And I was lucky enough to take it during my senior year, and they helped me a lot with networking related things and college things. I didn't have a LinkedIn account. I didn't even know what was that. And in college, everyone asked for it. So I was so grateful that Bell gave me that support. I wasn't able to create my own product because again, I just took it during my senior year. And when you're in your senior year, is more towards college and post secondary pathway. So yeah, I wasn't able to, but Jerome was able to do his product. So he would like to talk more about that. That would be amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, Build is, as Karol mentioned, it's a nonprofit that really tries to inspire students to start their own businesses during high school, something that, you rarely see with clubs in school. I thought it was a great program. I did it during high school and I created an origami book, specifically for the reason that I thought origami books were cool as a kid. My little brothers are on their iPads and I thought I want to get them away from that as much as I can. So, I gave it a shot. It lasted for a while, but eventually they just kind of threw it away. So, but, I thought it was a great book. So right now I'm working at Build. I'm an intern there. I'm doing development and communications. Because I'm based in Pennsylvania, I'm kind of doing a lot of back end stuff with data, just recruiting and stuff like that, helping them out. And yeah, the internship's been going great so far. I've had an amazing experience. I think our lead right now, Alex, is an amazing person. I've learned so much from him.
Great. And yeah, go for it, Donna.
I was just going to say how, so we mentioned Build Fest, which is in Fenway, and there's a couple of other locations, right? Is it Chicago and a few others that you can go online and see where the big ones are? But I was curious on how, other than participating in the big festival, which Let me tell you, my wallet felt it that day. There was a lot of really great ideas and businesses. But how can folks get involved other than just going to Build Fest, once a year?
Yeah, I think there are so many options to get involved with Bill. And if you go to our website, you can look at it, like you can donate, and that all that money goes to schools. So, for example, when the students are developing their products, they need like materials or different stuff, and Bill provides that for them. You can also be a volunteer. So you go every 2 weeks, or like depending on your schedule, you go to the classrooms and you help the students just to pitch their ideas, fix their slides. You give them feedback on their products, because they were like the entire year on their products. So they can go to Belfast, or they can pitch their own products. So you can give them feedback on that. You can also be part of like the volunteer group and help the teachers with the students. So you go to classrooms, and basically, yeah, there are like so many ways to get involved if you go to the website. But those are the main ones, like donate money for that, or just like offering internships, for example, for like seniors that are currently graduate. If you know of any opportunities that they can apply to, or if you know like any corporations that are willing to be mentors, for like seniors or for juniors who are looking to start building their path to post-secondary opportunities. Those are options as well.
Yeah, just to add on to what Carol was mentioning, yeah, pretty easy to get involved with Build. If you just search up build.org, you'll go to their website, and then at the top right, you'll see volunteer. Build is very flexible in the way in which you can volunteer. It's just based on your commitment. If you can only volunteer maybe once a month, that's totally fine. And the way in which you volunteer is entirely up to you. There's volunteering in the classroom with mentorship, right, with students. And there's also different forms of volunteering as well. You can also donate money to support the organization as well. But yeah, I think Carol covered like all different walks.
Great, thank you.
And so I know at Build Fest, Carol, mentioned that it was one of the areas where you saw that networking was a real big benefit. Could you tell us a little bit about how you were networking there and the types of people that you were able to meet and connect with? And I don't know if there's a good story you learned or got from it too. I always love hearing those.
Yeah, definitely. So, in like the internship in our time with Bill, Jeralmi and I, we have been going to like different high schools and do like different career panels just to show them what opportunities Bill offers to students. And I remember I went to one of the high schools one day, and then at Bill Fest, two students were like, "Oh my God, we remember you. You were our high school." And I think that was like so rewarding because I never thought like they were gonna like remember my face, my name. So that was one example that I live at Belfast. And another example is just like to meet so many people that have like so many amazing stories behind. It's just you could never imagine to find that many entrepreneurs and that many stories that show you that success is not always like linear, like you have so many failures, and that's what take you to like be successful, failing and learning from your mistakes. And think that was like the most valuable lesson that I learned, that you're always gonna have something there that is gonna be an obstacle to get to your goal, but that should not stop you from fighting back. So yeah, I was able to connect with so many entrepreneurs, with so many people, with so many teachers, and with so many students as well. And I think that's amazing because so many of them just graduated. And there was one student that is going to Northeastern, and I was like, if you ever need anything, just let me know. Like, here is my LinkedIn, here is my email, because I know how hard that transition is, and I have a lot of support from students that were already in Northeastern. So if I can be that light or that that person that is helping others, it's just like very rewarding to give back to the community.
Absolutely. I know that's advice I was given a long time ago in my sales role, which was fail fast. Because the faster you fail, that means the more you're doing, and the more you're doing, the faster you're going to learn, and the quicker you'll see a path to success as well. So that's good that you were able to experience that already.
Yeah, that term, Amelia, you mentioned on the last call, it was karmic circle, or what was it?
Yeah,
again?
the karmic cycle of networking.
Yes. Yes. So giving back. So everything that you're giving back, Karol, it's gonna, you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, but there's definitely a positive extra reinforcement that happens along the way too.
Yeah, definitely. And you never know, like that student that I met at Belfast could be like a doctor that will save my life in the future. So you
Yeah.
never know when people will end up. And yeah, it's just amazing to build your own community and your own network.
No, absolutely.
And how did you both find yourselves involved with Build? I know Jeralmi said that he started working with them in high school, but how did you get connected, and what made you find an interest in wanting to get more involved?
I could go. So in high school, they switched it out for my lunch period. So I was excited one day to go, have lunch with the boys, my friends. And suddenly they told us we're going to be in a classroom doing a program called Build. But the difference was like they were buying us lunch. So I was like, okay, there's a perk to it. So I'll stay this time around.
You're smart. Yeah.
I'll see what it's all about. But eventually it turned out to be something amazing. I started like my own first business was like some sort of like rubber band or wristband kind of thing. It didn't work out. Our team kind of like got disbanded, and then we joined another team. And yeah, from there it just went great. And then the internship, Alex had reached out. He put out a post on the newsletter asking for alumni who want to be interns for Build. And I was like, sure, I'll give it a shot. I'll see how it goes. That's how I got here.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think my story is kind of similar to that. As I said before, like I took it during my senior year because I completed all my credits in advance, and during my senior year, I had like a lot of blocks free. And then my advisor, he was like, "Oh, just will take like 5 APs," and I was like, "No way! Like this is too much. I'll take 3." And then I have another like 2 periods that were like free, and he was like, "Okay, then take Bill." And when he told me about Bill and he told me about like their mission and everything they do, I was like so impressed. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And it was like extremely rewarding to see everything that they helped me with. Um, it was just amazing to see the impact on the people and on the young entrepreneurs. And it helped me a lot with college. And that's how I stayed involved because they helped me with that hard transition. I applied for one of the scholarships they offer and I earned it. And it was like extremely helpful because you don't realize like that every single penny counts once you get to college. Like there are books, there are food, there are like something is always coming up. So it was extremely rewarding. And same as Jeralmi, I always like read the Pathways newsletter, and in one of the newsletter there was like the offer like, oh, we're looking for the students for an internship, and I was like, yes, I love this. I want to learn more about Bill, and I just want to be part of their mission. And that's how we ended up here.
Very cool. I guess outside of some of the things you're doing in the schools, that sort of thing, are there other networking things that you're currently doing or that you're looking to do in the future?
I will say Northeastern has a high focus on networking. They have this famous co-op program where you work in like your interest field for like during 6 months before you graduate, so you can get like more experience. And I think it's incredible, like nice to see how competitive everyone is. Like everyone is always like asking for your LinkedIn. And I think it's beyond that, like not adding someone to your LinkedIn and that's it, you forget about it. But also like keeping those connections and trying to connect with people more often, saying like, hey, how are you? Is there anything I can help you with? Or if you know like of any internship, let me know. If you know like any professor that I can reach out to about like a specific topic, I think that's extremely helpful. So I just finished my first year at Northeastern, and I'm definitely looking forward to connect with more people in my university and with more professors as well. I feel like they're also like a great resource, and they know a lot of people as well. So it's nice to connect with them as well.
Great. What about you, Jeralmi?
For me, I think my favorite has to be hackathons. So hackathons are like short form programming competitions.
Mm-hmm.
Typically they happen in colleges, like 36 hours. Those are really stressful. Like you end up not sleeping for 36 to 24 hours, but you're kind of like sugared up on energy drinks. And then by the end, you have like a product, which is really cool. And you show it off to people, you connect. I think it's great for me just because like a lot of the times, a lot of companies will go there just to like look for interns or potential hires. So yeah, it's a great place to be. Just, they're not good back to back.
Good to probably space them out.
Yeah.
Get some sleep after those. You bring up a great point, Jeralmi, is my question was, you're, of course, both very connected to Build folks, and you have some alumni from, high school going to college, and you're getting more acquainted in universities, and then again, the Build world in general. As you mentioned, though, a lot of CEOs or founders, CFOs, business professionals can get involved in Build. How have you all been able to network with them and build relationships that way too? I feel like that's a really great platform for you to meet folks, right? That maybe future internships or jobs or, just overall relationships.
Yeah, I feel like Bill has a very nice and rich network of entrepreneurs that are like people in different fields, not just like business, but for example, I'm studying journalism with a minor in international affairs, and they have connected me to a lot of people from the PR world, from like the journalism world. So it doesn't matter like what your interest field is. They always have someone that can help you. And to answer to your question, yes, we have had the opportunity to connect with those amazing people, and I think it's amazing. We currently have the Build Beyond Club, which is very new, but it's basically a club that was created for alumni and by alumni, and it's just to support each other. We didn't want the support that they'll give us to end once we graduate from high school, but we wanted to keep it to our transition to college or to a transition to post-secondary pathways, because no matter what you choose to do after high school, you can get that support. So yeah, I have been like reaching out to them to be like guest speakers for the club, and Jeralmi has helped me a lot with that as well. So it has been very rewarding to talk to people that you will never imagine you will talk to. So
That's incredible. And just to follow up before, if you have something to add, Jeralmi, but Karol, have you found any techniques that's helpful on the follow-up? So you're meeting these people. Are you doing anything? I know you mentioned that you're becoming more active on LinkedIn. Is it something that you connect on LinkedIn and then maybe send a thank you note? Or is there anything that's been working for you? Or you've gotten advice that someone has given to you on how to build your network and relationships?
I would say the biggest advice I have received is like always being yourself. Like people remember you because of that. They're like, oh, you smile a lot, or oh, you say this thing, or stuff like that. And another helpful thing has been like posting on LinkedIn. Like it doesn't matter if you think it's not gonna get like that much likes or that much impressions. Like it doesn't matter. Like you just have to show people what you're doing, and say like, hey, I went to this amazing event today. And it doesn't matter if you see them as like something minimum, it could be like a great impact for you and your network. So I will say, yeah, definitely like always thanking people for their time. I always say like, hey, thank you so much for meeting with me today. Thank you so much for connecting. It was a pleasure to meet you. Always following up with something after you meet someone, and definitely keeping active on your socials. It's very important, I will say.
I completely agree. It's nice to showcase what you're doing and staying connected and thank you follow-ups. And then you have everyone on your network. So it's sometimes hard to remember. I'm sure you both see a lot of faces and names. So being able to see a photo with a name and where they work, it just helps, the memory in general. But then also maybe they're posting something, you can follow up with them. So it's a nice way to keep all the contacts in one. Jeralmi, do you have a similar experience with meeting some other, entrepreneurs or different professionals and connecting with them?
Yeah. I've been really lucky and fortunate to have the people in Build connect me with contacts that they have in the industry. At first as like a college student, I'm very nervous. I'm like, oh, these are the people that I'm going to probably be working with in the future. So I get kind of nervous sometimes, but that typically just goes away.
I still do.
Yeah. But when you speak to them, you realize like, hey, they're just like you. They're working in the field and they want to help you out as much as you can. I think what I found most useful is just like asking for a brief amount of time from people. Like, hey, could I just chat with you for like 5 minutes? I'm really interested in what you're doing. Maybe you look them up and you find some sort of project that they worked on, and you say like, hey, that was really impressive. I'd like to just like chat for 5 minutes. I feel like 5 minutes is like the time where people are like, yeah, I've got 5 minutes, but the conversation might go on than 5 minutes, but like 5 minutes is just where you start. So yeah.
Absolutely. And you just reaching out in general, I'm sure they're so impressed just because, just in general, right? I think we sometimes have the assumption that, people are busy, which they are. But reaching out, say, are you willing to connect for 5 minutes? One, I'm impressed. Absolutely would love to connect. And then to your point, it's always more than 5 minutes anyway. So you already secured at least, maybe 20 to 30 minutes on someone's calendar. But I like that move of asking for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think Carol hit it on the head, just as far as saying, right, it's not all about the likes, that sort of thing. For me, it's crazy, actually, because you always wonder who's actually seeing what you post, right? And I know that collectively on this call, there's a lot of posts that we make or that we interact with, without a doubt. But for me, it's always funny and interesting. The people that come up to me at the various networking events are like, oh my God, I can't believe you did X the other day. And they never post, they never do anything. But it is pretty fascinating who is actually taking notice and actually cares in a lot of cases as far as what's going on. I found that truly astonishing, quite frankly.
Totally. I know I someone who posts a lot on LinkedIn, and I definitely get comments about it when I go to events. Someone's like, I always see you out. You're always, I'm like, I don't even post all of them. Oh my goodness. But it's a really great way to just put your face out there and get some visibility, and stay on top of people's minds. I think that's something that people don't think about, is the ability to just, even if it's, hey, I did this week, people really like that stuff on LinkedIn. It kind of breaks up the business posts and everything else. They like to see actual pictures of people out there, and they're like, oh, I totally forgot that Carol was doing that. That's so awesome. I should reach out.
100%.
I feel like that's always a really just great way to do things. And I hate to do this, but it is that time of the podcast where we're going to start wrapping up. So before we ask you guys what events that you would be going to in the future that you might want to promote here, how is the best way for people to get in contact with you?
For me, I would say definitely LinkedIn. I'm Karol Mendoza, and you can see me there in LinkedIn. That's my profile. My email is right there as well. So if you ever wanted to reach out or just to send an email, that will be more than amazing.
Great.
Same goes for me. My name is Jeralmi Canela. There's my email. You'll find me on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter as well. So yeah, reach out.
Cool. And then I think very importantly, of course, you said build.org before for anybody who wants to learn more about the organization. And I strongly encourage folks to take a look at Build and what they're doing. It's truly spectacular.
And volunteer. I just signed up to volunteer. So feedback to come. Very excited though.
Yeah. No, I like the fact that it is super flexible depending on what you can do. I know that both of you hit on that, but it's true, right? If you are a crazy intense working professional, there's a spot for you. If it's somebody who just wants to donate, there's definitely a spot for you. But then depending on what you want to do, there's just so many opportunities. So I think with that said, yes, Amelia is correct. It is that time. Crazy enough, time flies. And so now we're going to do round robin as to what networking event upcoming you're looking forward to.
Yeah. Steven, do you want to go first?
Sure. It's bio week, so I'd be remiss not to do a bio type event. So Mintz Levin, the law firm, is doing an event tonight in Boston, in downtown. So I'll be heading to that in an hour.
Awesome.
Very nice.
So I'll hand it over to Taylor.
Yes, I'm also taking advantage of Bio Week. It is a short week for me, though, and it's also end of my fiscal year. So not as many events this week, but I have a lot of, due to Bio Week, in-person coffees, lunches, happy hours, to see a lot of the friendly faces that I work with. I just don't get to see them in person all the time because of geographic location. So I'm excited about that. What about you, Amelia?
So I am going to an event with Morse Law tomorrow for Bio Week. So I'm excited about that. I feel like every time I go to one of their events, I meet 2 or 3 I really shouldn't say 2 or 3. Last time I met like 4 or 5 people that I added to my network, and I've stayed in good contact with. And any event where I can meet 4+ people that I'm like, yes, we meet probably more than that at an event, but people that I'm like, yes, we can work together. Like, you're awesome. And then we continue that relationship more than just a 30-minute kind of Zoom meeting. I find that those are the most successful events. And then as always, it's the 3rd week of the month. So I am also having Third Thursday. So I'm excited to see my Third Thursday crew. Because I actually missed it last month and I was sad. So I'm really excited to see everyone this week too. What about you both, Karol and Jeralmi?
Yeah, so next week I'll be joining the Build Beyond Club for a bowling night at Fenway Park. So not at Fenway Park, but it's like near the stadium. So we're looking forward to it. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, same. I'm not going to be there, unfortunately, for any of the Build Beyond events, but I'm excited for the team. And yeah, there's so many more events. Like there's the SVU bowling event, there's the karaoke event, which is coming up in August, and then there's the Goodwin Proctor event, which is going to be awesome as well.
Did I hear karaoke?
Yeah, it's karaoke.
Professional karaoke.
Everyone in the group was so excited about that one.
I have to do that one, huh?
Well,
send you an invite.
Yeah, never say never. I may be doing my do re mi fa sol la ti dos.
I'll join that one. I'll go. I'm ready.
Yeah, you guys should definitely join us. We'll send you an invite.
Yes, please do. We're excited. Well, that concludes it today. So we're gonna end it here. And thanks everyone for tuning in and listening. And we'll see everyone next week.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
I know.